imposition of ashes, which is our penitential rite on this day. There is a story of a man who found an eagle's egg and placed it in a chicken hen's nest. The egg hatched together with the other baby chickens. The mother chicken didn't mind that this odd egg is also among mine. And so the little eagle was born. It grew up with the little chickens, scratching the ground, clucking, and flying only a few feet like the rest of its chicken brothers and sisters, because it believed it was indeed a chicken. Sometimes it would stretch its wings and rise a little higher from the ground. For a brief moment, it felt something different, a strength, a pull upward. But it saw the other chickens down, and it quickly came down, because it didn't want to be different. It never imagined it could fly higher than the rest. And one fine day, it saw a magnificent bird up in the sky, moving effortlessly among the winds. "What is that?" it asked its chicken family. "That is eagle, the king of the birds," the other chicken shouted. "It belongs to the sky, and we, the chickens, belong to the earth." And so the little eagle believed it, lived it, and died like a chicken, because it never truly knew who it really was, its identity. Now, this story is from a very famous Indian Jesuit, came to me from a fellow Redemptorist father. Sometimes we live below our identity. We are created for something far better than what we really think we are. Who are we? Unless we know who we are, we may remain where we have put ourselves. What are we created for? We are created for communion. We are created for relationship with God, which naturally flows with one another. Yet very often our relationships are broken. We let our relationship weaken. We want to avoid those difficult conversations. We don't want to put down our red flag. We carry the silent hurt. We stop listening. We live close physically. We are very much connected through the digital world, but we are very far and distant emotionally. We come to church, but we are guarded and shielded inside. The church, in its wisdom, places this Ash Wednesday exactly for this. Ash Wednesday is God's invitation to us to restore us into relationship, to renew our closeness with God, and to heal the bonds we share with one another. The three beautiful readings that we had today reminds us of the same. In the first reading from the book of Joel, we heard these striking words, "Now, now." It is the Lord who speaks. "Come back to me with all your heart. Let your hearts be broken, not your garments torn." This is not just a moral conversion, dear brothers and sisters. It is a relational conversion. relational conversion. God invites us to renew our relationship with Him from our heart. When that relationship is restored, other relationships definitely will begin to heal as well. Joel gathers everyone, as we heard, elders, children, even the bride and the bridegroom. No one is excluded. Bottom line, conversion is not just merely personal. Of course, it starts with the individual, but it definitely is communal. It concerns us, everyone, including the creation. In a similar tone, in the second reading today from the 2 Corinthians, St. Paul says, we are ambassadors for Christ. Be reconciled to God. Two beautiful sentences, but speaks volume. Reconciliation is about restored closeness. Paul doesn't simply say, hello, improve yourself, get better. No, he says, be reconciled, you ambassadors of Christ. And he adds on, now is the favorable time. Well, Prophet Joel says, now. St. Paul only reiterates that, even though these two things were written centuries apart, St. Paul says, now. Ash Wednesday reminds us not to postpone our healing of God. If there is distance between us and God, let us return. If there is distance between us and someone we couldn't forgive, let us return. Let us begin the journey yet again. We are not spiraling, but we are moving towards God. In the gospel reading that we heard today from the Gospel of Matthew today, Jesus speaks about prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. How many times we have heard this again and again. But I would like you to focus on this word, your Father who sees in secret. Jesus says this 3 times. Why does he repeat? Lent is specifically for this, to bring us back to God. Prayer restores our relationship with God. Fasting purifies our relationship with ourselves, our ego, our desires, our impulses. And almsgiving restores our relationship with others. If you look at these 3 distinct directions, one towards God, upward, inward to ourselves, and outward towards others. And so, dear brothers and sisters, this call to relational conversion is the need of the hour, the signs of our time. In the journey of the Synod on Synodality, which we were all part of it, 2021 to 24, now 2026, we are in the post-Synod and we are in this implementation phase. And something that clearly emerged in the Synod from all the 5 continents was this: there was a call to nurture relationship with the Lord, between men and women, in families, in local communities, among social groups, among religious, and with all of creation. Many people were deeply moved because they were asked to speak and were given the opportunity to have their voices heard in this synodal process. So much of pain came out. They spoke about feeling being excluded, being judged, unseen because of the marital situation, identity and struggles, and sometimes even our scrupulosity. This tells us that the desire for real and meaningful relationship is not about belonging to a group. It springs from our faith. It stems from our heart, which is the tabernacle of God. The Synod reminds us that the evangelical quality of our relationship, how we treat one another, are decisive for the Church's witness in history. If we continue to ignore the voices of certain people in the Church, we will continue to weaken our witness. The words on Synod chapter 3. When we receive ashes today, in a short while from now, we will hear these words, remember that you are dust. Dust reminds us that we are indeed human beings. We are fragile. We need grace. We need one another. We are all relational beings. Ashes are not meant to discourage us, but it places us in this truth specifically. And humanity is the beginning, the virtue of humility. It leads us to heal relationship, while pride and ego and self-centeredness will divide us. Humility opens the door to paradise. So how do we journey then in these 40 days of Lent? Not with unrealistic expectations, not just opposing what we want to do for us, but let it deepen our relationship with God and with one another. Let us start with prayer. Whatever opportunity we have, little time that we use the public transport or wherever we have little time, let's use that to pray to God, which can enable us to enter into this deep union with God, prayer. And when we make peace with one another, even the people that we don't like, the people that we find it hard to forgive, when we apologize, when we let go and forgive, when we listen without immediately defending ourselves, by removing our shield, then the real fasting happens. Real fasting from pride. We can also practice hidden charity, one act of kindness each day without announcing it, without trumpeting it. Love does grow in silence as well. So finally, let us not forget that we are not created to live small, not created to shield our lives all day, guarded lives. We are created to soar in communion with God, with one another, and within ourselves. Are we still living like that eagle in that hen's nest? No. We are created for the sky, yet most of the times we are satisfied with the ground. We are made for communion, yet settling for broken relationships. We are given wings, but we hardly use it. So this Lent is God stretching our wings again. We are not made for the ground of resentment and pride. We are sons and daughters of God. We are His beloved. We are made for reconciliation. We are capable of forgiving one another, and we are made for communion, and we are made for the sky. May these 40 days teach us not only to receive ashes, but to continue to discover our true identity of being a child of God. And may we not live and die without ever truly knowing that we truly belong to Christ and we are His beloved. Amen.